y'all doing today? I'm gonna need y'all to give me a little bit more energy. How y'all doing today? Y'all just had an awesome weekend. I wasn't able to be here Friday, and I was here last night. But y'all got some good stuff going on, right? I think it's a good thing y'all ain't had breakfast yet. That means I don't have to compete with a full belly. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all gonna sit there nice and full, start out at sleeping. Can I borrow your blanket? No, just playing. But I am so happy to be here. Every time I get a chance to share my story, I get excited. So I'm gonna introduce myself and tell you about myself a little bit at a time. They're right, I started a ministry at 18. I am 40, y'all. I just turned 40 this year. What? Hey, yes. So when I was your age, we're gonna talk about that, how my life was looking and how now it has turned out, all by the grace of God, right? I just wanna say, first of all, thank you to Save a Girl for asking me to come speak, because Beauty is who recommended me. I don't see her, Beauty, and then I met, we spoke with Miss Glenda, and here I am. So thank you for the organization. Thank you. My stepdad is actually here videoing. I got my beautiful children on the side and my girl Kelly here. I got a little support team just like y'all. One thing I saw yesterday was when Miss Glenda and, was it Linda? Say it again. Barbara, yes. I saw them up here, and they were just like, they had like their own love language, because they played an old school song, and they was just kind of loving on each other as sisters. That blessed me so much, because this is where it starts right here. The relationships that you're making right here, you're starting at however old you are, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And as you get older, you'll realize who those backbones are, who the sisters are that held you up throughout the years. And to see them up here loving on each other, and Glenda was celebrating Barbara, my heart was just so warmed by that. And the second thing was when the scholarships were giving out, the way you guys cheered for the girls who got the scholarships, I was like, that's real. Because I saw one girl was like, hey, yeah, and I'm seeing her like, she was screaming like she got it, you know? And that's real love, that's real support, and that's where it starts. And if you can keep people like that along with you along the way, you're gonna be all right, you're gonna be successful. So, anyways, I can talk all day, but are y'all excited about it? Because I feel like I got a good word for y'all today. It's going to be real good. It's going to be life-changing. It's going to be impactful. It's going to reach everybody up in here, in the front, in the back, on the side to side, okay? All right? I wish I can get to know everybody, so at some point throughout the day, or when I'm done, y'all come say hello. I'm gonna say hello to y'all, because I wanna feel y'all. I don't actually like speaking on stages, because I like to get in your face. I like to see you, I like to feel you, I like to breathe you, I like to smell you, you know. I just like to be there, because I've been there with you, okay? So what I'm talking about today, my loves, is a queen's command. We're gonna talk about a queen's command. And when I speak, I want y'all to talk with me. This is a dialogue. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. I want y'all to talk with me, talk at me. If I say something that you like, yeah, girl, you saying it, you doing it, you getting it. So let me ask you something. What is a queen? Hey, I like that answer. What is a queen? All right, I like that. She said a woman who can stand in her own right and not let anybody take her down. Number two, a queen is also considered, if you look at the regular definition, a female ruler. And she's right, standing your right. And it's also something that a lot of times you didn't have to do anything to get that right. That right was given to you. It was inherited, right? So number two is, what are qualities that come to mind when you think of a queen? What qualities? What comes to mind? Yes. Powerful, yes. Huh? Luxury, yes. Strong. Oh yeah, I thought you had your hand up, sorry. Knows what they want, yes. Confident, I like this. Respected, you said respected? I love that, yes. Say it again. Independent, yes. Y'all got some good stuff, y'all. Now, I'm going to ask this third question. I said, who comes to mind when you say queen? And what you say? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't hear you, huh? Say it again. Yes, who said it? I can't see you. You said it. Yes, me. That is so great that you guys identify yourselves already as queens. I want to show you something. What is this? When you put this on, what happens? Right, you just feel. I want y'all to try this on. Right. Because that's what it's about. It's about 4 keys I want you to know about. And you see how her face just lit up. What's your name? Lexi. Pass it around, because I want you to get used to wearing your crown. I want you to get used to, hey, there you go. And this is another thing we're going to talk about later, baby girl. She fixed her crown. And that's a part of queendom too, and queenship. She didn't even have to put on her own crown. She placed it on her. That's powerful. That's very powerful. Pass it around. 4 keys I want you to know about a queen. Number 1, she must know her position. And she must know that she has authority, and she must know that she has a right to command her life. And it's easy to command your life when things are easy, right? When things go your way, it's easy. But sometimes when things don't go your way, sometimes you might start questioning your queenship. Number 2 is you have to know that as a queen, you have a purpose. That means you just weren't born just to be born. There's something specific that you were put here on earth to do. And you're an answer to a question. You're an answer to a problem. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what my answer is. Number 3 is, now just because you're a queen, just because you cute, just because you got it going on, doesn't mean you do not have enemies. As a queen, you have a predator. So you have a purpose, you have your position, and you have a predator. You have somebody that's always trying to come at you. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's not always the person that you think. It's not the girl at school who don't like you. It's not the boy who broke your heart. A lot of time it's your mindset going into that. That's your predator, that's your enemy that tries to break you down. And number 4, as a queen, you have to know that you have power. And I'm going to tell you exactly where that power lies. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I grew up in church, was at school, and my home life was a mess. My mother and my real father, they fought every day. Fuss, fought. As a child, I saw a lot of traumatic stuff, right? And when I went to school, I hid it. I act like everything was okay. Even when we went to church, I act like everything was okay. And I even was at church one way, then I'll get to school and be a totally different way. Because I had a lot of hurt, I had a lot of brokenness, and I had a lot of anger. And I didn't know how to deal with that. So as I got older, it started to affect me. I started to go through something in high school where I became extremely depressed. Now, I didn't know I was depressed. I just know I got really sad. I started not liking myself. I started not thinking I was enough, not thinking I was good enough. But I hid it through laughing, through being a class clown. And I also had this thing about me where I had this line that you cannot cross. Anybody got a line? Where it's like, you know, I'm cool, but don't try me, don't test me. You know, that side of you come out, the neck and the arms start rolling. I had that side down real good. My senior year in high school, I got in 5 fights. I was on it. I was, like I said, and you could tell how angry I was. I didn't even know how to deal with all that anger. And at some point, my mom said, Tina, you got to get this right. You got to get this together. Something is not right. I mean, you fighting every other week. This is not healthy. So, okay, at some point I said, God, I need your help. I need you to help me change because I knew I couldn't do it by myself. So I got into his word. I started praying. I started a relationship with him. And I slowly started to transform my life. Now, I was known as Mean Tina, where I had like this bad temper, where I couldn't really control it. And I hated my dad because my mother and father got married and divorced twice. And I seen a lot of things, and that hate turned into anger, it turned into rage. But once I got really, really close to God, I started liking my dad. And before, my favorite color would not be pink because I felt like it was too soft, but the closer I got to God, I actually started to like pink. I started to be more happier, more freer. And that's when I said, oh my God, like every girl that I fought, I went and apologized to them. And some of them looked at me like I was crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? What's up? What you doing? You know what I mean? But I went up to him and I said, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, that was not me. I'm a different person. Come to church with me. And I started the nonprofit organization at 18 because I wanted to help other girls like me who walked around. And the thing is, I didn't know I was a queen. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know I had a gift, a call, or anything like that. I was just existing. But once I got close to God, I realized that I did have a purpose. I did have a position, and I started this ministry. So I'm thinking like, okay, life is good. 18, you made it out all right. You stopped fussing, you stopped fighting. You done let go a lot of this anger. And guess what? I meet a guy. Anybody here got a bae? Y'all raise them hands quick. I got me a bae. Well, I had a bae. And you know what? At that time, everybody knew us. Everybody loved us. Everybody looked up to us. We were kind of like the Beyonce and Jay-Z of our church, right? Because I was speaking, he was singing. It was like we was doing our thing. You know what I mean? And I said, you know what? I got this. I've arrived. Everything in life is good. I have a nonprofit organization. I'm speaking to girls. You know, I got my man. We about to get married. I had all this stuff together, right? And then at some point, he cheated. But when he cheated, it broke me. It was like an avalanche. All this hurt, all this anger, all this depression that I thought I left, it came right back. And then I started doubting myself. I started once again not liking myself. I started having thoughts like, maybe you're not supposed to be here. Maybe the stuff that you're doing, maybe it's not good enough. Because the hurt was so bad. And I would try to talk to people and be like, oh my God, I'm hurting. I'm not feeling right. I'm feeling depressed. I'm starting to have thoughts where I want to take my life. And they would be like, girl, you okay? You look good. You look good. But the thoughts got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I would literally sit in my house by myself, seeing and feeling the spirit of death and feeling like I didn't know what to do with it. And then at some point, we in a relationship, we trying to work it out, and it got worse and worse and worse. And it was just like a series of loss. We, lost my car, lost my job. And then the last thing, he was like, okay, I don't want to do this no more. We can't do this. I'm like, wait, why you want to leave me now? You know what I'm saying? Why you want to leave me now when I'm not feeling too bad, feeling the best? And I could not take the hurt. I could not take the punch in my chest, the punch in my belly. And I ran to the bathroom and I took 32 pills and tried to take my life. Swallowed them, gulped it down. And I'm sitting in the bathroom. He bust the door open and called the ambulance. And at that time, I hated myself so bad, I started cutting myself on my arm. So when the ambulance got there, they're like, what are the cuts on your arm? I'm lying and said, hey, I fell. But once I got in that ambulance and those sleeping pills started to take in, and I'm like, God, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I want to be here. And at this point, I'm crying out like, God, help me. What is going on? And I asked the guy, I said, am I going to die? Because I'm blanking out at this point. And he said, you're going to be okay. We got to you in time. So we had to get to the hospital, give me tar, and at some point I wake up. At some point I have to go to a psychiatric hospital. And I got out the next day because at that point I realized that I didn't want to die. I just wanted the pain to stop. And it's like it clicked. It was like once I got out of that, I was just like, I want to be here. I just want this pain to stop, but I actually do want to be here. Now, I didn't fully know how to walk it out, but I knew I did want to be here. Now, I went back to regular life, and I asked the Lord, I said, God, how am I serving you? How am I trying to do right by you? But how I get to the point where I tried to take my own life? How did I get there? What happened? What happened? And he spoke back in my spirit and he said, you stop using your weapon. And I said, what? He says, you stop using your weapon. Does anybody know what the weapon is? Say it again. The Bible? Close. You close. Anybody know what your weapon is? Your voice. Say it again, baby girl.
I said her voice.
Your voice. The most powerful weapon that you have against anything that bothers you is the word of God on your mouth, speaking it out your mouth. So when any situation comes, it is your job. And I'm so blessed that you guys got mentees, mentors with the mentees. And I'm so blessed that y'all have Glenda and everybody speaking life into you. But when you decide to stand in your right as a queen and speak life over yourself, you become unstoppable. Because when you're in this room, it's all filled with unity and power. But guess what? There's going to come a time where you're going to get by yourself, where you are going to start to question yourself. Am I enough? Am I good enough? Am I too big? Am I too small? Am I not smart enough? I want to show you something. I need a volunteer. Hey, first one. I want you to stand right here. Y'all still passing the crown around? I'm going to show you this crown here too. This crown is actually broken, but it's still a crown. And although you might be broken, you're still a queen. I'm going to put this crown on your head because this is how you start off in life. I want you to face everybody. This is how you start off in life, right? At some point, you may realize that you're a queen. And then life happens. Can somebody tell me what happens in life? What happened in your life? Say it again. Heartbreak, yes. Can you hold this? Hold on. Huh? Disappointment, yes. What else? Say it again. Failure, yes. What else? Pressure, yes. I don't want to trip you up, baby. There you go. Come on, tell me what else. Self-doubt. What else comes? Yes, betrayal, yes. What else comes? Depression, fear, yes. Regret, yes. Anxiety, yes. Say it again. Depression, yes. It all comes, and what it's trying to do is wrap you up and to stop you, right? This is what happens. It gets you all the way to the end. And this is what you start to feel, just like you said. Heartbreak, anger, rage. I'm gonna take your crown. This right here says, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm weak. Too fat. I hate me. It can be I hate me, I hate him, I hate them. I'm stupid. Too skinny. Here's more. Guilt, shame, unforgiveness. When that boy leaves, he talk about you like a dog. Nobody loves me. Depression, hurt, pain. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. And this is what happens. These thoughts start to fill your brain. Life happens, right? You get hurt. Somebody break, the mother and father not together. Some boy break your heart. Some girl talking about you. Some boy calling you a hoe. Some girl saying you too big, too little, you ain't got the right body, you too flat, you this, you that. And you start to think, you know what? Maybe I'm not a queen. Get on your knees, baby. And life starts to get you, right? And you get lower and lower and lower. I want you to lay on your side. And this is what happened. Ain't this the position we in when we at home crying our eyes out when something happened? Heartbreak. We on our face like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I don't like me. I'm not supposed to be here, right? And to be honest, this is where the enemy wants you. He wants you doubting yourself. He wants you not liking yourself. He wants you thinking you're not good enough. But this is also where God will empower you. And most of the times when you're like this, nobody's around. Even if you tried to call them on the phone, they're not picking up. And you trying to call your friend, and she busy. She FaceTime or she DMing or whatever. She not picking up. And you sitting here all by yourself, thinking you're hurt, thinking you're defeated. But the truth is, the power of God is already in you, and all you have to do is speak it. All you have to do is speak it. And this is where your queen's command comes into play. This is where you use your power. This is where you use your weapon. And you begin to say, I am a queen. I am whole. I am anointed. I am appointed. I am beautiful. I am called. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And you say this over and over and over and over again, relentlessly. I don't have nothing against Cash Doll or Cardi B. I don't have anything against them because they're doing what they think they're supposed to be doing. But guess what? Ain't none of that gonna stand up to them nasty thoughts in your head. So you gotta do a weight test. You gotta do a weight test. You gotta make a decision that when you listen to that stuff, you take some time and listen to some edifying stuff too. Okay? You make that call. I can't tell you not to listen to it, but what I can tell you to do is fill up with some other stuff too, so you can change what's going on inside of you. So when the thoughts to say, I'm not enough, you can switch it around and say, I am enough. When it say you're too skinny, you say, I am a queen. When you say you're depressed, God can fill you with love, joy, and peace. When you say nobody loves me, I am love. When you say I have hurt, shame, guilt, and unforgiveness, you sit back and say, I'm free, I'm anointed, I'm loved. And this is what you do. You say it until you believe it. You say it until you believe it. And all these things, I'm going to take these off you. I don't want to mess up your hair. All these things will begin to break free. The chains will begin to break when you say it out of your mouth. Now, I can say it over you, but your chain's going to still be there. But when you start to look at yourself as powerful and believe that power is on the inside of you, that's when the chains break. That's when you're free. That's when you become a real queen. That's when you become a real queen. And you reclaim your crown. You stand in your right as a queen when you say it out your mouth. That's when you know that you have a purpose. And let me tell you something. I hate to tell you this, but a lot of your purpose gonna come from your pain. Now, once I knew I tried to take my life, that's when I knew that couldn't nobody else take my life. When I knew I was free from that, ain't nobody gonna sit up at me and tell me nothing. Why? Because if I can't take my life, you're not going to take it. And I say every day of my life that I'm called, I'm anointed, I'm appointed. But some of this pain that you got going on, God going to make sense of it. And now that I know I've been sent here on assignment to tell you that you are called, you are anointed, you are appointed. And everything that has ever tried to break you, honey, God is going to use it to make you. And I can promise you that. Have a seat, baby. Y'all give her a hand. You can keep the crown. Yeah. Y'all continue to pass that around. Now, I want to give you 3 keys. 3 keys to own your power. Number 1, Anybody know what this is? Number one, you're going to have to get connected and you're going to have to stay connected. But the key is you're going to have to make sure you connect to the right thing. I noticed they had on the side courtesy charging stations. But everybody don't need to be your charging station. You don't need to be filling up on no anything, on no negativity, on no revenge, and you know, whatever, hurt, pain, anger, rage, revenge, you know, you don't need to fill up on that. And I hate to tell you, mommy is not going to be able to feel you. Daddy is not going to be able to feel you. Your best friend is not going to always be able to feel you because you giving them something, putting them in a position that they were never supposed to be in. Your ultimate source has to be God only. First. God first. You connect to that ultimate power and you can never go wrong. And he will fill you and he will heal you and he will make sense of everything that you ever been through. So number one is get connected and stay connected to the only true source, which is God. And number two is to release the hurt and the pain. I'm going to tell y'all about my book. It's called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. And I wrote this book because I wanted somebody to have a blueprint on exactly what you need to do to get out of that dark place of depression, of heartbreak, of attempt suicide, or whatever it is. But in this book, I talk about how to release that. Because sometimes you want to get through it, and sometimes it gets a little hard to release. But you got to release the hurt, the pain, the unforgiveness, the revenge, the man who broke your heart, the dad who broke your heart, the mom who left, the dad who left, the man who left. You got to release all of that and let it go. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to own your power. You're giving them your power when you hold unforgiveness. You're giving them that power when you talk about other women behind their back. You're giving them that power when you compare yourself to other people, when you're jealous, because you're beautiful just the way you are, and nobody can be you better than you. We're not all in the same race, baby. I'm in a race of Shantina. What's your name? Tiara? Kiara. She's in a race of Kiara. What's your name? Aaliyah. She's in a race of Aaliyah. What's your name? She's in a race of Zykora. What's your name? Nadia. She's in a race of Nadia. What's your name? Shaniqua, she's in a race of Shaniqua. What's your name? Anaya, she's in a race of Anaya. Nobody else is in your lane but you, baby. So you ain't got to worry about somebody trying to be better than you, look better than you, feel better than you, have better than you, booty better. Ain't nobody in your race but you. All you got to do is run it. And you can't run with weight. You cannot run with weight. And the weight of unforgiveness, hurt, pain, brokenness, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. And the best way to let it go is in the presence of God. He will show you exactly how to release it and let it go. He can do something in you that you can't even do to yourself. And the last thing is use your weapon. Use your weapon. And there are going to be times where you have to use your weapon as medicine. When you have a cold, and you go to the doctor, they prescribe you medicine, antibiotics. They tell you to what? Take it 3 times a day. Sometimes they say take it 3 times a day for 7 days. And they say if you happen to get healed on the 5th day, keep taking it until the 7th day. That's the same thing you got to do. You got to take the word of God and have positive affirmations over your life as medicine, which means make a decision to say them over your life every day. And even if you feeling good about yourself, still say it. So when those hard times come, they won't overcome because you've made a decision to speak life over yourself every day. And then when an enemy comes of a mindset telling you that you're not enough, you're not this, you're not that, that's when you use that the weapon and fire off at them. Hold up, you said I'm not what? You said I'm not what? Hold up, I'm a queen, I'm called, I'm anointed, I'm appointed. And you keep saying it until you believe it. But don't just let your weapon sit there and get stale and get dry and get dehydrated. Stand in your right. You are so powerful. You are so powerful. And I want to make sure I want to catch eyes with everybody up in here. You are so powerful. As a queen, you have a command, and make a decision to command your life every day of your life. And I will promise you, standing here today, honey, that you will be unstoppable. Y'all feel me? That's all I have for y'all today.